Is this the right move? Let's talk to somebody who has been watching the media as long as anyone and has a great, great eye. Former New York Times media reporter, don't hold that up against him, Bill Carter, written several best-selling books on late night TV, including The War for Late Night and The Late Shift. Brother Bill, what is your take?
First of all, it's good to see you, Chris. My take is
sir.
that the timing is crazy suspicious with this. I mean, they could have decided to, if they were forced to dump him because of money, they could have done it in the next 3 months. He's going to be on for another year. They could have done it anytime, but doing it now when the deal is still not settled, it's going to lead to inevitable questions that this is another bribe situation where they're going to cave and give Trump what he wants. And whether it's true or not, it's a fair inference to draw because Trump hates the guy and has spoken out against the guy. In fact, he literally said CBS should terminate his contract. He literally came out and said that. So now they have done that, and Trump celebrates it. So I mean, what else can you conclude? But there's at least a strong suspicion that it's because Trump wanted to get rid of him, and they wanted to make Trump happy.
It is a little weird, though, that in Trump's message on Truth Social, it said for a lot less money in all caps. And they do seem to have a cash crunch going on over there. This is a different tweet that's not as relevant, in my opinion. But
yeah.
Okay, but if they're doing what you think they're doing, Brother Bill, why didn't they come out and announce it?
It's a fair inference, Chris. Inference. I'm not saying they
right.
have reason. The financial thing is real. That's not made up. That's real. The networks are shrinking like a pond in the sun here.
Right, but why wouldn't they put it out? If this was, hey, Mr. President, we don't let people talk about us that way, or to anybody, we don't let people talk about us that way. Why didn't they put out the statement? Why let him define it?
Well, because if this is the reason, they're doing his bidding. They don't want to admit they're doing his bidding. They don't want to say we're doing this so you'll give us the approval on this merger. That's pusillanimous, obviously, right? So I guess they don't want to look pusillanimous. And what's bad about it, in my opinion, is if this is true. Look, here's the big picture, right? In our country, we don't have a king who decides if the jester doesn't amuse me, I can cut his head off. We don't have that. We're not supposed to have that. But this looks like that kind of deal. And it's not about Norm, by the way. Norm was fired by the NBC chief who hated his jokes about OJ. That it wasn't a politician coming out and saying, no, get rid of this guy. He's making jokes about me. What president has not been made fun of by late night people in your lifetime and mine?
Oh, no, I agree. I agree, but I'm saying that I think Colbert, disrespecting the company, got the axe dropped on his neck. That's why I was likening it to McDonald, because when the executive got pissed at him.
I really don't think that was it. I honestly don't think that was it. Because this is a late night comedian. Letterman made fun of NBC endlessly. They do that. They pick on their company.
Fair point.
That's not exactly the same thing. Look, as I said, I don't know the inner workings of this deal. And there's a legitimate point about financial. They were losing money on the show. I don't think they were losing as much as they said. And there were probably creative ways to attack it. NBC dropped the night of Fallon, and there are ways to do a little bit of adjusting your finances. But they decided
they announced
let's chop him off. And Chris, they chopped.
But they announced that they're going to have an extra season.
They what?
Right, but that they're giving him another season too, though, which is also
contract doesn't run out till the end of last year. So if they fired him,
but I'm saying they could
anyway. They have to pay him anyway, so they might as well get the work out of him. That's the way I look at it.
Well, but that makes it less likely that it's really about the finance. I don't know. You could argue it all different kind of ways. One other thing, real quick. I don't think 60 Minutes or CBS News ever in any universe, in any forum, before any jury loses that lawsuit that Trump brought against them for editing the Kamala Harris. I blame them, and ABC is a closer call, but and I love ABC News. I work there, but so I'm biased. But these companies have to stand up to pressure from a politician. There are a lot of cases that you won't settle because you think you have a power imbalance.
Yes.
Now, when there's a power imbalance against you, you cave.
Yes.
If you want to be strong, be strong.
Exactly. And everyone agreed the 60 Minutes suit was a nuisance suit and a ridiculous thing for $20 billion and all of that. But it's the same position. They need this merger. If the merger doesn't go through, Chris, there's a massive penalty fee for the merger falling through.
Yeah.
So it's completely in their interest to make this deal. And Trump is the kind of president you can't believe won't do the worst thing. He will do the worst thing. So I think they're all on the defensive because of that.
I don't like that. You got to fight. You got to fight power. Bill Carter, I appreciate you. Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.